Big Park.
How are you and your dolly today? Oh,
Hi, Raggedy Ann. I want a tie dress.
I think we can fix
How
that.
are you doing, Raggedy Ann?
Well, now, pardon me, but is this your land? Your hallowed ground on which I stand? I sure hate to break the news to you, but your national park is coming through. Well, now, pardon me, but is that your home? The house you work so hard to own? Sure would make a nice hotel. And we have ways to make you sell. 'Cause we don't answer to the taxpayers or to your congressman, and we don't take no from anyone. We just want to take your land. Big Park. Now we'd like to talk about that barn you plan to build out in your backyard. We have a special building fee. Just give us 40 acres free. 'Cause we don't answer to the taxpayers or to your congressman, and we don't take no from anyone. We just want to take your land. And if you don't comply, we have ways to change your mind. We'll do almost anything to get our way. So just sign the dotted line. It's for the good of all mankind to give the antelope another place to play. Take it, boys.
Oh, give me your home. Let the buffalo roam.
More than 1/3 of all the nation's land is in the federal government's hand. So don't get mad about what we do. We're buying all America just for you. Whoa. Whoa. 'Cause we don't answer to the taxpayers or to your congressman, and we don't take no from anyone. We just want to take your land. 'cause we don't answer to the taxpayers or to your congressmen. No, we're just like the State Department. We got our own plan. Yeah. Please rise for our anthem. Big finish, boys.
God bless all the animals, the forests and the streams. We'll get rid of all the people and build the big park of our dreams. God bless all the animals, the forests and the streams, and we'll say goodbye to human rights and build the big park of our dreams.
Hi, I'm Terry Kennedy. In recent years, the massive land purchase policies of the federal government for various agencies like the National Park Service and Forest Service have gotten out of hand. Today, the federal government owns more than 1/3 of all the land in America. Why, in Nevada alone, 87% of the state is owned by the federal government, and believe me, many of the people in Nevada aren't happy about it. Thousands of families, like the one in the video, many of whom have lived on their land for generations, have been forced to sell what they thought was their own private property, protected by the Constitution. Many times the property is condemned and existing homes are burned to the ground. In other cases, vacated homes are turned into ranger stations, and these are not isolated cases. All over the country, private property is being tied up, condemned, and bought up by government agencies supposedly for the good of all people. But what about the individual? What about the families and whole communities whose lives are being manipulated and destroyed to fulfill the philosophy of the preservationist organizations? The big gun in the arsenal of the preservationists now is the American Heritage Trust Act. If this bill passes, and it has a lot of support in Congress, the federal government will make available $1 billion per year to buy up private land. This land could then be designated as restricted use areas, such as federal wilderness and federal parks. Now, $1 billion would buy up all the farmland in Nevada and still leave $250 million to buy up more land in another state. And just remember, folks, when the federal government buys private land, the local government loses tax revenues. That means less money for schools, roads, and public services. And whether you are a landowner or not, your constitutional rights are seriously endangered by this bill. To keep it from passing, call and write your senators and congressmen immediately. Ask for a copy of the Multi-Billion-Dollar Trust Fund Act and any related legislation. Let them know you think the federal government owns too much land already. I'm for conserving and protecting the land, but if we do not take a stand right now against the land purchase policies of the federal government, the next endangered species may very well be the private land owner.
God bless all the animals, the forests and the streams. We'll get rid of all the people and build the big